I feel like
All
it's what I think.
right, here we are, another Monday morning with Stephanie, who was going to say something, and Rosella. We'll give you a chance, Stephanie, just a second here, chatting about Spokane or some area in Spokane that we're going to learn about today. I don't even know what it is. That is so fun. Notice that we're both in our automobiles because that's the nature of our industry, but we're still doing a Monday morning update with Stephanie and Rosella. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Yes. Good. 'Cause Stephanie just had to come find me in a coffee shop and drag me out. She's like, "We're doing our call. You need to come on."
Literally drug her away. Excuse me, sir. Sorry, we gotta go. I
We
know you
gotta
have
go.
business, but I have business to
You
tend
are
to with
on it.
her.
I like it.
So the surprise for today, we are going to do
Shadle.
Shadle area.
Shadle. Well, that's
Yes,
cool. Okay, let's
Shadle
start
area.
out. Where is Shadle in respect to everything else we've been talking about?
So Shadle is not centrally located in Spokane, but it's going to be on your northwest side of Spokane. If you were to be in like the Wellesley to like northwest Maple Ash kind of area,
So
north
not
of
quite like Joe Albee Stadium. You might be familiar with
there. Ooh,
that
yeah, Joe
particular
Alfie.
area. It's inset just a little bit, but then it's in between Division and like
Mhm.
that high drive, like and then TJ Knock Drive area.
Also for anybody military, the VA hospital here locally is gonna be right on the side of the Shadle area as well. So for
Good to
military
know.
people, they typically will know where that's at.
Yeah.
Shadle's
Yeah.
a fun little area as well, just to
Mhm.
make note of. That in the 1940s, 50s ish, that's kind of when that area developed. So you have a lot of really cool mid-century charm homes that are larger footprints, meaning like over 2,000 square feet.
Oh, good.
Oftentimes they have a basement that either is or is not finished. And again, those kind of little bit larger lots that we've talked about, meaning like at least a quarter of an acre, if not a little bit bigger. Some other fun little draws to that area is, there's all sorts of different schools. There's a new library, a new aquatic center that's over there, some like little shopping centers. But what it's actually, oddly enough, notoriously known for
It's crazy.
is a 4.8 million gallon historic green and yellow water tower.
This water tower, I kid you not, growing up here, because I was in cross country and track, we had a lot of running events hosted at the Shadle High School because it also is next to the aquatic center. So there is a huge city park there. And that
Got it.
green and yellow water tower is like right, it's so massive you can't miss it. But
Yeah.
I was always like, you had to run around the water tower and back. It was kind of a destination. So that's a little iconic. Yeah.
Yes. So what we
Well,
found
cool.
though,
Yeah.
Tell us
for
more.
this area is, we would say, is a really good spot for like entry level investors to
Yeah.
look in, but then
Oh,
also kind of like those starter home purchases.
Yeah, the affordability.
I would say, and reason being is because why?
The affordability. So it's crazy. There are 85 listings on the market within the Shadle area that are active and
okay.
55 pending ones. So out of those, that's crazy. Out of those 85 active listings, 79 of them are within which price point?
225 to 450,000.
Oh
That's
my goodness.
crazy.
Yes.
That's like the lowest price point we've talked about, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so 79 of those homes, so that's pretty much all of your active listings, are under that 450,000 price point. So
Yeah.
you're seeing like that's a bulk of the affordable homes that are here within the Spokane community for people that are shopping within that price range.
But
Got it.
the perspective to gain on that, because like we've kind of talked about before, we know that since the average price for homes in Spokane are sitting between that 4 to 450 price range, that's where seems to be a lot of activity also happens. When you get into this lower price point, which again, it tends to feed to a certain market of people that may not ever think that they could qualify for a home, but then this goes to show, yeah, you can. However, something to consider is now would be a really good time to start looking in that area for homes. And reason being is because the days on market are
slim. Oh my Atlanta. All right. The active homes on market are about at 33 days. So I believe
Oh,
we had
wow.
done the Mead area last week, and Mead homes were sitting on about 60 days on
Yeah.
market. So this one's averaging, I think it actually was 33 days on market for active. And then the solds are actually even at 21 days. So that just goes to show that not only are they flying off the shelves, people are getting these under contract and sold
Yep.
so quickly. So an average of
Most quickly.
21 days for solds. Yeah, that's pretty quick. What is the reason for 21 days also for that price point we were chatting about?
I would personally, honestly attribute that to, I feel like because that price point is such a low price point, in
Yeah.
comparison to the majority of the average, that for underwriting and appraisal, stuff like that, that's oftentimes, what's
More hiccups come up.
sometimes can be the hiccup or the holdup. But as long as you have a buyer who's qualified, ready to go, and if they even go conventional, FHA, anything like that, once they get one of these contracts, you're pretty much ready to go, and it's pretty easy to pull a comp, and you know that the value's there. So there's not really much to hold up on that, which, as we know, that can oftentimes be one of the largest things that you're waiting for. But when you have something that comes in and you know that the value's there, it's pretty easy to be like, yep, check all the boxes, done, set, let's go.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And not to mention these homes, because they were built around 1950s. Yes, they are older homes, but they're not to the point where they're so old that conditions aren't being met for lending. So that makes it easier as well for people that are loaning on these homes. Conditions are being met, and appraisals are there value-wise, smooth sailing.
The other part with that would also go back to those kind of entry-level investors, or even non-entry level investors that come in with cash, which don't require any appraisal. And as we know, I mean, a cash deal can be done in as quick as 10 days sometimes. That's probably where, again, you can get those shorter averages to come into play.
Yeah.
You have your cash buyers, and
Yep.
at that price point. Yeah, it's crazy. I actually just had a buddy was telling me about, he had one at the 275 mark for that area and was beat out horrifically by cash buyers, like 10 cash buyers. And
Wow.
his buyer had 50% down. It was crazy.
Those are investors that are doing cash buyers typically. Is that correct?
No, not
Not
always.
necessarily.
Sometimes people that have decided to downsize or relocate
That makes
have
sense.
some money to put down. And so if they know that they can just put cash, get into it, then they typically can go and refinance it, as we know, or do whatever they have to do after, putting the cash in to leverage it back out. Because some of them, although they're in good enough condition, a lot of them will need some sort of updating. Again, which is where that lower price point comes into play, or they want to finish a basement or remodel the bathroom. So therefore doing a
Got it.
cash out refi or something like that makes sense. If you have cash, leverage it, and then turn right around and do what you want with it.
Yep.
Then you're going to get the value back.
Now, you mentioned at the beginning that this is a good area for investors. What are the rents there? Do you know that?
Oh, yeah. I had actually a lady friend renting in that area. Her home rent before COVID 5 years ago, she was paying $850. And this was for her 3-bed, 1-bath, which is a standard Shadle home. They typically only have 1 bath unless the basements have been renovated. She was paying $850. That was 5 years ago. Over COVID and the rise of our rent increases, her landlord then raised her rent up to, it was $1,650. So it over doubled. Yeah, so a home that size, if I would say very minimally at 1,500, at probably around $2,000 a month for a rental.
Yeah,
Good to know.
for an investor who's looking to cash flow a property, you're easily going to get that mortgage payment covered by a rent, where you can see the increase over, the mortgage payment would be if you're going to do like a fully furnished, kind of that midterm rental. I have a few clients that I actually help buy their first home. They've held on to it for a few years, and now they're able to turn right around and cash flow those properties because they've now moved on, went to a bigger home, whatever it was, but they held on to it. So the other interesting part about when I say like those entry level investors, they're just your standard resident typically here within Spokane. Most of our rental properties are owned by single family homeowners themselves, and they don't have like a large investment portfolio. They only have typically less than 5 doors, honestly. So It's your normal, just run-of-the-mill person who bought a good house at a good price point where they can now turn a profit off of it. And they're not, looking to make a boatload, but they are able to make a very healthy generating cash flowing property, or
That's the
income off
goal.
of these properties. Yep.
Yep.
Good. Well,
Slowly
Shadle
build the
sounds like
wealth.
an interesting area, ladies.
Yeah. Well, they were my rivals growing up for where I was located. So, I'm biased, but who am I?
And I've sold a couple of homes in that area, and
Yeah,
I mean,
I love the
they're cute
area.
little houses. They're cute little quiet neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They have main, bus routes that go through there. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, there's schools, parks, libraries, all sorts of, different community draws. And it's a good location because it's not downtown. It's off of downtown. It's not quite by division. So
Yeah.
location wise, it's an appeal to a lot of people. Like I said, that first starter home, you get a lot of people that look in that area for that reason.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
I like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like
And
this little tour.
one
Yes.
final note, because I'm a sportsy person. So the high school that's there, they also have for public, they have full tennis courts. They also have a batting cage that you can utilize if you're into
Cool.
sports. And then the high school themselves actually have a swimming pool inside of the high
I
school.
didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, I was so jealous. And then now they have the aquatic center, which is also a public, so there is a lot recreational wise just within the heart of Shadle. Oh, the public library they just redid last year. The public library is super cool now. They got all kinds of stuff for kiddos and good stuff there. So there's a lot to do within the center of Shadle to utilize there.
Sounds like a nice
Yeah.
area of town.
Yes.
We might have to go
affordable.
walk a house over there too for you.
Right.
All right, ladies, thank you again. I enjoyed this
Thank
one
you.
as always. It was fun. Maybe we'll get some people interested in Shadle to give you a call. And if you want a loan, of course, ladies, that's what I'm here for. Keep that in mind. We're happy to help you. We have first-time home buyer loans, which sound perfect for this particular area. Thanks, guys.
Or that one DSCR loan, I think.
There you go.
DCSR,
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I don't know.
DSCR, you got it. Refer
Dyslexia
back to that
kicks in,
video.
sorry.
We'll put a
Yes.
link in this video to the DSCR loan video. You guys can check it out. And
Perfect.
if you're an investor, it might be a really good solution, like Stephanie said.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Very
Thank
much
you,
so.
John.
Thank you, ladies. Talk to you later.
All
Have
right.
a good day.
Bye.
Bye.